After dating Ethan for 10 years, I had asked him to meet my family 98 times. Each time, his adopted sister, Chloe, interrupted us with various excuses. The 99th time, he burst through my apartment door, holding a battered and bruised Chloe in his arms. Evelyn, I told you meeting the family would happen eventually. Chloe has just returned to the Gu family and hasn't adapted yet. Why are you forcing her to accept you? And why did you even have people gang up on her? He grabbed Chloe's hand and slapped my face. Chloe, remember this, you must pay back double to anyone who harms you. I clutched my swollen face, watching their intimate departure in silence. Julian's disdainful mockery came through the phone line that had remained connected. Evelyn, I told you, only I am worthy of you. Before you marry him, come back to me, good girl. A week from now, I'll send a car to pick you up and bring you back to Viridian. Hearing this, I lowered my gaze and hung up the phone. As Chloe left, several burly men appeared at my door. Tisk. TSK. TSK. Mr. Ethan is really generous, willing to let us have his woman. Heh, we rescued Chloe. He spoils his adopted sister so much. What's a woman he can replace anytime? Listening to their words, I was shocked. Ethan sent you? What do you want? Nothing. Just Mr. Ethan told us to make sure you served us well. At that, I exploded. The moment they tried to touch me, I aimed a kick at their crotches. You bitch! Still trying to fight back? But they had underestimated my true strength. I grabbed a knife and plunged it into one of their thighs. Everyone froze in shock. Didn't they say she was a delicate girl? I scoffed, holding the knife to their throats. Get back to whoever sent you. The men were dumbfounded with fear and scurried away. The room became empty. I stared at the oddly placed teddy bear in the corner of the living room and kicked open the next-door neighbor's door. On the living room TV, everything that had just happened was being monitored live. I trembled with anger. It turned out that Ethan had brought Chloe to the apartment next door to care for her, without my knowledge. No wonder he was always leaving early and returning late. On the sofa, Chloe was nestled in Ethan's arms, the two of them exceptionally close. Ethan, what is the meaning of this? Ethan ignored me, showing no sign of being caught. He fed Chloe a peeled pomelo before finally speaking. Evelyn, this is just a small punishment for you hurting Chloe. Seeing my anger, Chloe smiled, her eyes twinkling. Evelyn, I didn't realize you had some martial arts skills. It seems the rumors were true. There had always been rumors about me in Capital City, saying I was a killer for hire, willing to kill for money. Evelyn, it's not that I'm deliberately making things difficult or preventing my brother from taking you home to meet the family. With your background, full of bloodshed, Mom wouldn't like you. Chloe blinked innocently as she spoke. I slapped her across the face. You're an adopted sister, constantly clinging to your brother. Don't you think you lack boundaries? Or rather, do you like Ethan? A young girl's thoughts are usually easy to read. Chloe clutched her face, utterly aggrieved. Evelyn, you're being too much. How can you use such dirty thoughts to interpret me? Mom and Dad are busy with their careers. I've finally returned home after being deployed to the remote territories for years. I just want to make up for the lost years of affection with my brother. Do you only allow my brother's world to have love? And no family? Ethan yanked me away. Evelyn, what's wrong with you? Do you think 10 years with me means you can keep me tied down? Chloe, don't call her Evelyn. She's not part of our prominent family yet. A stranger has no right to discipline you. His words instantly chilled my blood. For 10 years, I had given up my career for him, cooked for him, and tried every possible way to please him. Even with Ethan's parents, whom I had never met, I never neglected them, secretly helping whenever I could. But now, he called me a stranger. I stopped questioning him and quietly returned to my room. Perhaps was right. Ordinary men truly weren't worthy of me. Consider these 10 years a waste. I moved out of the apartment I shared with Ethan. The thought of having my life constantly monitored without my knowledge, reduced to a laughingstock in conversations, filled me with utter frustration and disappointment in Ethan. Ethan spent the entire night across the hall. When he opened the door and saw my luggage piled in the hallway, he raised an eyebrow. Angry? Trying to run away? I ignored him. His mood seemed to improve. He actually had the leisure to try and coax me. Don't be mad. When a young girl gets bullied, you have to stand up for her. If she goes back and complains to Mom and Dad, and you get exposed, it'll damage your reputation. Come on, don't make a fuss. I'm doing this for you. Chloe's not wrong either. Mom dislikes ruthless people. I'm trying to build your image. And when the time is right, I'll take you home to meet the family. Hearing this, my heart twisted in pain. My first encounter with Ethan was when I rescued him from his pursuers at an intersection. If I hadn't taken on multiple opponents and swept them aside, Ethan would have been dead long ago. Back then, he had personally praised me as a courageous and resourceful girl, unlike other ordinary women. Now, he resented me for the lives I had taken. My eyes burned and ached. I dug my nails into my palms, preventing the tears from falling. Chloe followed me out. Evelyn, where are you going? Seeing I didn't answer, she didn't mind. She pulled Ethan's hand. Brother, hurry up. We still have to take wedding photos. Upon hearing that, I felt like I was struck by lightning. Wedding photos? Ethan lovingly ruffled Chloe's head. Every young girl dreams of a wedding dress. Chloe doesn't have a boyfriend yet, so I'm accompanying her for the shoot. Are you insane, Ethan? You're just siblings. Chloe pouted. Evelyn, your thinking is so outdated. What's wrong with being siblings? It's just a set of wedding photos. Who says only married couples can take them? Ethan's expression was gentle. Chloe's right, Evelyn. You're less educated, so it's understandable you wouldn't get it. I stared at Ethan and took a deep breath. Let's break up, Ethan. Evelyn, it's just taking pictures together. Is it really that big of a deal? Yes, it is. I closed my eyes. After 10 years together, the number of photos Ethan and I had could be counted on one hand. Ethan said he didn't like taking pictures, yet's apartment was filled with countless photos of her and Ethan, big and small. I, too, had fantasized about standing beside him in a wedding dress, but had coldly said, "You're covered in scars. Not suitable for a wedding dress. Don't think about such frivolous things." I thought he just felt the time wasn't right. But now, with just a word from Chloe, he agreed with casual eagerness, completely disregarding my feelings. Ethan hesitated slightly, hearing my words. Chloe burst into tears. Fine, I won't go. To spare my brother and Evelyn from fighting, I shouldn't even exist. I'm not even allowed to take pictures. With that, she quickly ran towards the balcony. Ethan shoved me aside. I hit the sharp edge of the stairs heavily, splitting my head open. Ethan didn't spare me a glance. He swiftly wrapped his arms around Chloe, who was climbing onto the balcony, and pulled her down. We'll take them. Evelyn can be replaced. But you're my only sister. After waking up in the hospital, my forehead had 8 stitches. The room was empty. I picked up my phone and saw that Ethan's and Chloe's profile pictures had changed. Both their avatars were cartoon portraits of themselves, making them look like a couple. My hand trembled as I clicked on Chloe's social media post. She had posted 3 grids of 9 photos each. All of them were wedding photos of her and Ethan. In the pictures, they were intimately posed, smiling brightly, as if they were truly a couple. Chloe's caption read, "So what if I don't have a boyfriend? I have the best brother in the world." Many mutual friends in their circle had seen her social media post. Someone couldn't help but ask, "Won't Evelyn be upset about this?" Chloe didn't reply, but Ethan did first. My woman. She must be magnanimous. If she can't even tolerate my sister, then she can get lost. Ethan's comment prevented anyone else from daring to offend Chloe. What pained me even more was that, after 10 years of dating, he had never posted a single photo of me on his social media. On this day, he posted a set of wedding photos with Chloe. His caption read, "As long as your brother is here, anything you want will be fulfilled." I put down my phone, a pang of bitterness in my heart. When arrived, it was dinner time. "What are you doing here? I'm your boyfriend. If I don't take care of you, who will?" Hearing this, I paused. Only then did I remember that I was an orphan. In my 10 years in this country, Ethan was my only family. Yesterday was an emergency, and I had no choice. If something happened to Chloe, it would negatively impact the prominent family. Don't be angry. I specially cooked your favorite celery beef stir-fry for you today. Come and try some. I stared at the lethal amount of celery and scoffed. Ethan, are you trying to send me back to the hospital to avenge your sister? Don't you know I'm allergic to celery? Chloe is the one who loves celery. Hearing this, Ethan's hand, which was holding the food, paused. Then he nervously averted his gaze. "I'll go buy you something else." With that, he walked out. I picked up his forgotten phone. 2 messages arrived. "Ethan, is it true you'll fulfill anything I want? Then I want to try what the first time feels like. Can I?" Just as I put down the phone, Ethan returned. Forgot my phone. He grabbed his phone and left again. This time, he never came back. A number at the bottom of my contacts list sent a text message. Evelyn, when did your taste in men become so poor? The photo showed Ethan holding a drunken Chloe in an elevator. Chloe stood on her tiptoes and kissed Ethan on the lips. My heart was riddled with holes. 10 years. I couldn't endure such betrayal. I replied to Julian's message. Instead of just watching me suffer, why don't you help me call some reporters for a live broadcast? All right. Daring to love and hate. That's my Evelyn. I turned off my phone, tore off my hospital ID bracelet, and without even changing, appeared at the hotel room door in my hospital gown. In the hallway, I stopped a delivery guy who was about to open the door. I'm his girlfriend. Give it to me. I looked at the thin, strawberry-flavored item in the yellow takeout bag and rang the doorbell. The door opened. Ethan had just showered. His bathrobe was loosely tied, and his neck was covered in hickeys. Seeing me, his face panicked. What are you doing here? I handed him the takeout bag. If I wasn't here, where would you get these condoms? Condoms? I didn't buy any. Ethan looked confused, and I scoffed internally. I pushed open the door to reveal a mess on the floor. Chloe's clothes scattered everywhere. Seeing me, she screamed and pulled the blanket over herself. Ethan, after all this, what are you still pretending about? Ethan stared at me, his tone serious. Evelyn, believe us. Nothing happened between us. Chloe's cheeks were flushed. Ethan, why are you explaining this to her? Someone with such outdated thinking won't believe you even if you explain. I scoffed. Ethan, before you explain, shouldn't you at least cover up the hickeys on your neck? Do you really think I'm that easily fooled? Ethan looked in the mirror, saw the hickeys on his neck, and sighed with a hint of helplessness. Chloe, I told you no. Chloe whined playfully. Ethan, didn't you say you'd fulfill anything I want because you were afraid I'd be tricked by other boys out of curiosity later? I just kissed him. Evelyn, I was only treating Ethan like a tool. Is that so? Then why buy condoms? What? Ethan, are you teaching her about sex education too? Ethan frowned. Evelyn, how dare you speak like that? Nothing happened between Chloe and me. I found it utterly absurd. They were only nominally related. In reality, they had no blood ties. Aren't you ashamed? Chloe seduced your adopted brother. You're playing the role of the mistress. Tell me, if uncle and aunt knew you were like this, would they still continue to raise you? I displayed the photo of Chloe and Ethan kissing on my phone. Ethan snatched it away. How dare you? Evelyn, when did you become so petty and narrow-minded? I was merely educating Chloe about sex. Why are you being so petty? I'm petty and narrow-minded? Ethan, do you dare to repeat what you just said in front of these media cameras? As soon as my words fell, reporters hidden all around swarmed out. Quick, shoot, prominent family scandal, tisk, TSK, TSK. This is a great opportunity to take down the prominent family. This is explosive. Chloe's eyes instantly reddened. Don't shoot, don't shoot. Evelyn, are you doing this on purpose? You're just jealous that Ethan cares about me. You want to ruin me. Ethan stared at me in disbelief. Evelyn, you actually called reporters? Aren't you afraid I won't marry you? Go clarify with the reporters now. If and I are in the news tomorrow, don't even think about me marrying you. I scoffed. Ethan, do you think you're some hot commodity? I snatched off the tacky stone pendant, the token of our love Ethan had given me, and threw it into the toilet, flushing it away. I don't love you, and without that, you're lower than roadside trash. Reporters instantly stormed into the room, surrounding them tightly. I turned and walked away, heading to the hotel's top floor. By then, a helicopter had already landed there. Ethan frantically sent me messages and called my phone. I pulled out the SIM card and threw it into the trash. Without a second thought, I boarded the helicopter. After finally chasing out the reporters, Ethan couldn't reach Evelyn. He grew increasingly anxious and was about to rush out to find her. His assistant hurried over. Bad news. Mr. Ethan, MS. Evelyn left in a helicopter. What? Ethan's eyes widened. A helicopter? He quickly rushed to the window, saw the helicopter already far away in the sky, and slammed his fist on the desk. Where did she get a helicopter? Find her. Find out where she went. News about Ethan and Chloe spread like wildfire within moments. Ethan was furious. He called the public relations department. I spend hundreds of millions every year to keep you people. Are you collecting a paycheck for doing nothing? Why aren't you suppressing the trending topics? The prominent family's PR department was also distraught. Mr. Ethan, it's not that we aren't trying to suppress it. No matter how much we suppress it, the news quickly resurfaces. We reasonably suspect someone is manipulating this from behind the scenes. Ethan was incredulous. Within the country, the prominent family's PR was top tier. How could anyone be more powerful than his own PR team? But the next second, the trending topic shot straight to number 1. It topped all lists. And now it wasn't just insiders gossiping. Even outsiders were fully reveling in the scandal. The prominent family's PR team exclaimed, "Bad news. Mr. Ethan, our system has been invaded by an external force. We can't even trace their location." External force? Suddenly, a terrifying thought arose in Ethan's mind. But before he could think further, Uncle and Aunt rushed in. "Ethan, you scoundrel." Henry slapped Ethan across the face. "Look at the scandal you two have created." Chloe immediately knelt before Henry. "Dad, it's my fault. Don't blame my brother. I was just drunk, and my brother was worried. So he booked a room for me to rest. I accidentally threw up on him, so he went to take a shower." Margaret's expression was icy cold. A woman knows a woman best. The prominent family had adopted Chloe purely because the Fu was involved in a charity project at the time. They adopted a girl to gain public trust, worried that these poor girls might actually believe they'd become true heiresses just by entering a prominent family. Margaret had sent Chloe to teach in the remote territories for several years. Who would have thought such a thing would still happen? Mom and Dad, don't blame Chloe. I didn't pay attention to boundaries. Uncle and Aunt's faces were like frost. I don't care what your reasons are. If this news continues to trend, how will you compensate for the Fu's losses? Margaret looked at Chloe and said, "You and Ethan have truly been too reckless. Go back and prepare for facing severe family discipline." With that, they turned and left. Chloe's face turned pale. The prominent family's discipline meant 30 lashes and confinement for spiritual penance. Once, she had accidentally knocked over a Buddhist statue Margaret worshipped and was punished with family discipline. 10 lashes had almost taken her life back then. If hadn't taken the remaining punishment for her, she would have been beaten to death. Thinking of this, Chloe's eyes filled with tears. "Ethan, I don't want to be punished. I'll die." At this moment, Ethan was agitated and overwhelmed. He couldn't reach Evelyn on the phone and felt terribly uneasy. He roughly pushed Chloe's hand away. "If it weren't for your demands, Evelyn wouldn't have misunderstood." Chloe's eyes widened. "Ethan, you were the one who agreed to my terms. And now you're blaming everything on me?" "Ethan, it's fine that Evelyn left. We both know we have feelings for each other. So why don't we just get together?" Hearing this, Ethan slapped her across the face. "Chloe, are you insane?" Chloe gritted her teeth. "Ethan, what are you pretending about now? Haven't you ever had feelings for me? If not, why did you let me kiss you? Let me take wedding photos with you? Even when I said I wanted to try the first time, you agreed." "Ethan, we don't have a blood relation anyway. Wouldn't it be good for us to be together?" Chloe hugged Ethan from behind. Ethan felt a wave of disgust. What had he done in the past? Why had he tolerated crossing the line with Chloe like that? Thinking of this, Ethan suddenly stood up, and Chloe, losing her balance, fell to the ground. Ethan looked at her coldly. "Chloe, you've been the one trying to seduce me all along. I treated you as my own sister, yet you constantly, time and again, prevented me from taking Evelyn to meet the family. I thought you just weren't used to new people joining the family." Chloe stopped pretending and scoffed. "Ethan, are you still deceiving yourself at this point? An hour ago, you were still lying in bed with me, silently allowing me to take your phone. That condom, I ordered it. If hadn't come, we would have done what we planned long ago." Ethan grabbed her jaw. With a snap, Chloe's jaw dislocated. "If you dare to talk nonsense again, I'll kick you out of the prominent family." Ethan drove recklessly, speeding all the way back to the apartment he shared with me. Seeing the empty closet and my vanished luggage, Ethan panicked. Just then, company calls came in one after another. "Bad news, Mr. Ethan. Most overseas companies have withdrawn their investments. The company is now heavily in debt. Mr. Ethan, terrible news. Multiple flaws have been found in the new project. Company stock is plummeting. It seems someone is targeting us." Ethan's mind was a complete mess. He punched the wedding photo of him and Chloe, shattering it. "Why is this happening so suddenly? Mr. Ethan?" The other side leaked a rumor. They say you offended someone you shouldn't have. Someone he shouldn't have offended? Ethan pondered this. The next second, his assistant sent him a message. They said you offended Evelyn, the head of the Dominion. My identity was exposed, and Ethan's mind exploded. He never would have imagined that I was Evelyn, the infamous head of the Dominion. The Dominion was a powerful organization influential across all sectors, renowned both domestically and internationally. They never took sides, only stood for justice. Most major companies worldwide had shares in the Dominion, and the head of the Dominion was Julian, my savior and my first love. I was an orphan. I was lured with a meal in this country, kidnapped overseas, and was supposed to be sent to the facility. I escaped. I was very young then, scaling an iron fence with a long knife. I feigned helplessness, kneeling on the ground, begging passing cars for a ride. Once in the car, I quickly realized Julian's unusual status. I gambled everything, holding the knife to his throat and ordering the driver to take me out, or I would kill him. It was precisely because my eyes held a ruthlessness and decisiveness uncommon for someone my age that Julian kept me. He provided me with the best food and comforts, taught me how to kill with a single knife strike, how to hit a bullseye with a gun. I stayed by his side for 10 years, from 16 to 26. When I was 18, an accidental night of drunkenness led to us becoming intimate. Julian said he would take responsibility for me, but I grew tired of bloodshed. I wanted something new. Coincidentally, that's when I met Ethan, who was being pursued. So, after completing my 10th SSS rank mission for Julian, I broke up with him. Evelyn, I told you, those vulgar men are not worthy of you. Julian embraced me from behind. He handed me a report. It was a summary of the prominent family's plummeting stock and various business losses after his withdrawal of investment. I originally intended this as your wedding gift when you got married. Now, consider it my welcome home gift. I had been away from Viridian for 10 years, but my place here remained unchanged. Ethan somehow found my new number. He called incessantly. Evelyn, I was wrong. I know I truly failed you. Can you forgive me? I'll take you to meet my parents right away. No! We'll have a wedding and get married immediately. Hearing him eagerly offer what I had once wanted most, my heart remained unfazed. Ethan, marrying you would be marrying beneath my station. Ethan had to admit that. Ever since Uncle and Aunt learned my true identity, Ethan and Chloe's lives had not been easy. Chloe was punished with 30 strokes with a plank, then thrown into a dilapidated basement to transcribe Buddhist scriptures. I heard she ended up in the hospital, and after being discharged, she was sent back to her original remote mountain town. The prominent family publicly severed their adoption ties with Chloe. As for Ethan, shareholders were severely dissatisfied with him because of the scandal. Henry decided to bring Arthur, the prominent family's second heir who had been studying abroad, back home and entrust him with the group's crucial responsibilities. Ethan lost his inheritance rights and was given the cold shoulder by the prominent family. Now, without a career or love, Ethan was filled with deep regret. Evelyn, what do I have to do for you to forgive me? As long as you forgive me, I'll work like a dog for you. I was about to hang up when Julian leaned close to my ear and chuckled mischievously. Evelyn, when did I teach you to be so soft-hearted? He treated you like that. He needs to be severely punished. I understood. I sent my location to Ethan. If you want to apologize, a personal visit shows the most sincerity. When arrived, Julian was helping me try on wedding dresses. Back when I left Viridian because of Ethan, Julian and I had a bet. If I married Ethan, he would ease up. If I didn't achieve a successful outcome, I would have to return and marry him. Now, it was time to fulfill my promise. Compared to Ethan's empty promises, I preferred Julian's tough exterior, soft heart. He never explicitly spoke of his love for me, but he embedded it in my survival skills. He helped me forge my own path in the world and establish myself within the Dominion. Viridian was never short of capable individuals, so I needed to have my own authority. Seeing me in a wedding dress, Ethan couldn't help but speak. Evelyn, you look so beautiful in a wedding dress. Hearing those words, I only wanted to laugh. 10 years. How many times had I mentioned wanting to take wedding photos, and Ethan always ignored me? He said I was covered in scars, unsuitable for such pure things. Now, he was complimenting me on how good I looked in a wedding dress. Julian chuckled. He walked to my side and intertwined his fingers with mine. My wife, of course, looks beautiful. Hearing that, Ethan froze. His eyes reddened. What do you mean? I was expressionless. Mr. Ethan, are you deaf? Can't you understand such simple words? Ethan shook his head sadly. No, Evelyn. You loved me for 10 years. How could you marry another man? I don't believe you've let go of the feelings you showed those 99 times you asked me to take you home to meet my parents. I grabbed a knife from nearby, swiftly moved behind Ethan, and pressed it to his neck. Ethan, did you ever truly understand me? Ethan froze. You don't understand that I'm a decisive and ruthless person. When I say I no longer love you, I mean it. Seeing sweat on his forehead, I tossed the knife back. If I wasn't worried about your blood dirtying my home, you would have been personally dealt with by me just now. Ethan fell to the ground. Looking at him now, my eyes were as cold as ice. He was heartbroken, yet he couldn't accept the fact that I was marrying someone else. Seeing him about to pester me further, Julian spoke teasingly. Ethan, you truly are a pathetic excuse for a man. I let Evelyn go for 10 years, thinking you had some great charm to pluck my rose. But who knew you were just a spineless man who couldn't even maintain basic integrity? In those 10 years, every crisis the prominent family faced was resolved because Evelyn had me invest and help you overcome them. Ethan's heart ached more and more as he listened. And you, how dare you betray her? You should be thankful that Evelyn is wearing her wedding dress today. I don't want her gown to get dirty, otherwise, you'd end up like him. Julian casually pointed, and the skull on the wall abruptly entered Ethan's vision. A young master, raised in protection, had never seen such a sight. He immediately trembled with fear. I felt increasing regret, wondering why I had been so foolish to fall for him back then, but seemed determined to cling on. Evelyn, what will it take for you to forgive me? I was fed up. I slapped him across the face. You want me to forgive you? Impossible. Ethan was thrown out and knelt outside Viridian for 3 days and 3 nights. I watched him coldly. If he wants to kneel, let him kneel. On the day of the wedding, Chloe actually showed up, having been sent back to the village. She had fallen from grace. She was indignant and went back to look for Ethan, only to find out he had already left the country. She spent all her savings to find her way here. As and I came out, we saw the two of them arguing. Ethan, you can't do this to me. You were the one who gave me a response back then. That's why I fell for you. And now you're just abandoning me? Seeing me, Ethan's face tensed, and he shoved Chloe away. Evelyn, don't misunderstand. I didn't look at them directly. If you want to argue, take it outside. Don't ruin my wedding. My wedding was grand, attended by prominent figures. Looking at the massive diamond ring on my hand, Chloe's eyes reddened with jealousy. She suddenly pulled out a knife and rushed towards me. Evelyn, why do you get everything I want? Ethan doesn't love me, and it's all your fault. If you hadn't exposed us to the media, I would still be the prominent family's heiress. Give me back my wealthy life. I grabbed her wrist and, with a swift move, twisted her arm and pinned her to the ground. Julian's face darkened. She's asking for death. Guards, throw her into the alligator enclosure. I raised a hand to stop him. Julian, it's a happy day. Let's not shed blood. How about we lock them both up together? I want to see them tear each other apart. Ethan and Chloe were locked up together. Within days, Chloe went insane. The two who were once so doting now perished in hatred. Hearing this news, I didn't even frown. This was what they owed me for 10 years of deception. I walked hand in hand with Julian, graciously greeting all the guests. Uncle and aunt, whom I had tried to meet 99 times, were now on their knees, begging me to spare the foo. I scoffed and shook my head. No, the foo is one of the wedding gifts Julian gave me. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any thoughts about this story, feel free to share them in the comments section. Here is Roses and Love, sharing stories about marriage and women every day. See you tomorrow.